If there ever was a time when you felt like you needed to be the most perfect version of yourself, welcome to the holidays. That's it. This is the time where the perfection trap feels so real. And today we're talking about how can we let go of the perfection trap, setting realistic expectations for the holidays. And we're going to explore how to simplify your traditions, say no to what doesn't serve you, reconnect with reason and with the reason for the season. Whether that's family, faith, or those small little moments of gratitude. I want us to see what if we could let go of that pressure and focus on what truly matters to you? And if you're ready to simplify, you're ready to reconnect, if you're ready to say, hey, this year we're doing things a little bit different. I'm setting expectations to where I don't feel like I'm losing my mind this holiday season. And it actually feels like I can enjoy myself, feel a little bit of joy. This episode is for you. Welcome to the Hello Well with Danielle podcast, your weekly mental vacation from the daily grind for busy women who just need a moment to pause, breathe, and woosah. I'm your host, Danielle Washington, and listen, the holidays are often marked with this ideal of season of joy, and I just feel like it's not. For many of us, it's the season of perfection. It's the season of stress between family tradition, family drama, a lot of work at the end of the year, the endless to-do list, the pressure to get it all right and buy the best perfect Christmas gift or whatever kind of gift. It isn't easy. It isn't easy. It's easy to lose yourself. It's easy to lose sight of what matters. And this week, I really wanted us to kind of focus in on this feeling of the holidays, like we have to be the best performer. It's almost like our version of the Olympics, and we can't be that girl who bunny hopped and kangaroo hopped in the hip hop competition. We got to be that American. We got to be that star performer. We got to be Noel Lyles. We have to perform. It's almost as if the holidays were performing for that award, that gold medal. But I'm going to ask you right now, who are you performing for? Who is this for? Who are you doing all this for? Trying to meet everyone else's expectations. And oftentimes we're trying to meet some expectations that other people didn't even put on us. We put the assumption that they're putting on us, and we're putting more weight on ourselves. So whether that's that assumption that your family is expecting a certain thing from you, your kids are expecting a certain way from you, society has this ideal for you of this perfect holiday. We've seen the movies, and now we're trying to live up to that performance and that Academy Award winning performance, when oftentimes people really aren't expecting all these things from us. And even if they are expecting something from us, I think if we were to shift and be like, we're doing something a little bit different this year, I think you can kind of get away with it. This year, my parents decided to hold Christmas at their house. So, Christmas historically with our family has been 40 to 60 people. It's gotten smaller as we've gotten older, but still around at least 40 people. And my parents saying we're going to host Christmas means Danielle's hosting Christmas. And my father this weekend called me at almost 10 o'clock at night. He's like, okay, we got to figure out the RSVPs and all these things. I'm like, What we're not about to do is have this conversation this early in the game. And I had to set a boundary of expectations. Right now, Christmas on a Saturday night in early December around almost 10 o'clock at night is not my priority. It's not my priority. But old me would have been like, oh my God, I have to make this the best picture perfect Christmas for my parents. And so that's not me. So if you've ever felt like the holidays are more work than joy, you're not alone. And there's ways to get around that. Kind of talking about before, like I was asking that question, like, what does joy look like for you in this season? It's shifting your perspective, it's shifting your priority. If you can shift your priority back on that joy and figure out what does that look like? Is it time with your loved ones? Is it moments of quietness? Is it moments of not talking to anyone? Is it reconnecting with your faith and your values? Like, what are the traditions and activities that truly bring you happiness? And what are the ones that feel like chores? Write that down. Write down your list of things and traditions and activities that bring you happiness and another list that feels like chores. And then ask yourself, why am I doing this? Do I really need to do this? Can this be done differently? It doesn't have to be, either I do it or I don't do it. There's gray moments in our life. What's the gray moment? How can I compromise to where this feels a little bit more ease, even if it's just 3% more? The holidays were never meant to be about spending all your money, perfecting everything, giving the performance of your life. So I ask you to ask yourself, like, what would it feel like to let it be more joyful and less like an obligation? Let that joy be your guide this year. So maybe it's changing, simplifying your traditions, focusing on just one or two activities versus doing this whole shebang of like, it's going to cause you more stress. Finding ways to add more joy, more rest and release into the process. Giving yourself permission to say no when things are feeling overwhelming. You're not failing if you don't do everything. You're actually winning. Delegating where you can. You don't have to do it all. There's people who, if you ask them, they might be a little bit salty, but they still can get the job done. Perfect example, my brother does nothing. Like, my brother is like one of those people who he's there. And I'm like, literally told my parents, it's like, no, lean on him. Like, oh, well, you're better at this. I'm like, great. Just because I'm better at it doesn't mean he still doesn't have the ability to do some things. So delegate where you can. Whether it's asking someone to bring a dish to dinner or, doing a Christmas swapping of gifts and sharing the experience, or having someone else, if you guys play games, have someone else plan the games. And continue asking yourself, what's one thing I can take off my plate this season? Because again, who says you have to be the person that does it all? Who says you have to be the person that does it all? This is your holiday season too. And so allow it to be something that can feel joyful to you. This is not just the holiday season for someone else. It's your ability to set your own expectations based on what feels meaningful for you. It's a choice. Because you teach people how to show up. You teach them what to expect from you. So if you're teaching them that you're going to do it all, you're going to be perfect. You're going to make this grand performance during the holiday season because that's what you do. You're setting the expectations, not someone else. You're setting the expectation. And you have the same choice to show up a different way and set a different expectation that feels more in alignment with where you are today. What if the season wasn't about perfection? Like literally, what if the season wasn't about perfection, but about presence? Like if the most important thing about the season was being present. Imagine that. Like if that was the case, would you show up differently? Like would you be so busy trying to be, go, go, go? Or would you be more there, more connecting, focusing on those moments that you're going to always remember, connecting with your heart? No one will remember if the house was spotless. I couldn't tell you over the years of Christmas, I've gone to other people's houses or different events. I'm like, oh my God, their house was so spotless. It really made my experience. Like my holiday season was so amazing because that bathroom I probably could have eaten off the counter. No. No one is going to be like, oh my God, the cookies were so perfectly cooked at the right temperature that I just couldn't have it just has made my holiday season. No. What they'll remember is how you made them feel. So why don't we let the season be the season where we focus more on being present than perfect? At the end of the day, it doesn't have to be perfect. You don't have to do it all. The real magic of the holidays isn't the decoration, the gifts, the clean place. It's in the moments of connection, gratitude, and joy. So as you move through these next couple of weeks, because the closer we get to the holidays, the more frantic, and the end of the year, the more frantic things start getting. I invite you to let go of this pressure to meet everyone's expectations and stop taking on these assumed expectations or ones that you put on yourself, and focus on what truly matters to you. Set your own pace. Simplify where you need to simplify. And don't forget to make space for yourself along the way, for rest. And yeah, next week, we're getting closer. So we'll be talking about how to protect your energy during the holiday hustle, which is, I feel like, a perfect follow-up to this conversation. And until then, take care of yourself. Continue resting, scheduling some time to just recharge, because this is your season too. And you deserve to enjoy the season on your own terms. And announcement, which I probably forgot to do before, I wanted to make sure I let you guys know about, we just launched the Black on the Mat retreat that we're doing in Brazil. So that is up on the website, and I'll put a link in the show notes. It's going to be happening in Brazil, in Salvador, Bahia area, July 21st to the 29th. And I'm excited about it. It's a 9-day experience it's a yoga retreat, but it's not just your basic yoga retreat. Like we're in Brazil. Of course, you got to have like the Afro-Brazilian vibe. So we're doing, we're connecting to the Black culture there. We're doing some spiritual cleansing. We're learning how to cook the food, cocktails, do a little bit of dancing, and again, but also having more intentional moments of rest and stillness and yoga. So if you're interested in it, or if you know someone who is needing a moment to pause, if that's you, because again, it's one of those seasons where I feel like we're always focusing on getting a bunch of stuff and not experiences. This trip is for you. So the link is in the notes. And other than that, I'll talk to you next week. Ciao. Thanks for joining us this week on the Hello Well with Danielle show. Make sure to visit our website, hellowellwithdanielle.com, where you can subscribe to our show on iTunes, Spotify, and Amazon Music and never miss an episode. Also, you can follow us on social media at HelloWell with Danielle on Facebook and Instagram, and HelloWell Danny on Twitter. And if you like hella love the show and got some good nuggets out of it, know that I'm not too proud to ask for you to please leave a rating or review on iTunes so that we can continue to expand our reach and help other women of color. Again, thanks so much for listening, and I hope to see you next week. Ciao.